Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well, to the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. Yeah, as you could see, I was driving around, doing my work time, and I've been seeing this a lot in people's yards. Just little things with the little hoop things in there, right? You know, basically, you know, Babylon, right? This is, we know that Christmas is a Babylonian holiday, but you know, where did these little things and right here come from, right? And I've been seeing the little things, and I was thinking that went back to a grove, but I looked again. I looked and checked and see because I thought it went back to grove, but it actually goes back to chapels, right? That's what they used to do. Um, cause I remember, cause the reason why I thought grove, cause I know they were talking about, but I guess they used to do it in the groves too, right? They would put this little like that. They'll be doing it in the groves, but this is basically this thing goes back to a chapel, right? And they had all that all through the whole yard, but I seen more than one house like that, like almost all the houses, and I've never seen that before. You know, even when I was in the world, I never seen so many people's yards have this basically this thing that goes back to chapel in the yard. So a lot of people has that. Yeah, because when you go into the chapel, kind of goes into all this little. See how they have all these little archways. This, you know, this has everything to do with like with them dealing with chapels, right? See when they showing the chapels, it's mostly this little archway. See how all those, you know, and they would like kind of like what they were showing. They would put that basically make those in the forest or in the groves, which basically is like a forest. Have these secret you know, kind of like what they do now when they go to the Bohemian Grove, right? That's why I thought it went back to Grove, but it actually goes those that arches go back to arch. Everything that they're showing, because you think the chapel has to do with the church, but it's mostly it's that archway. See, everything that they have is basically that arch, and that's what really is basically the chapel. Where's that other one? Yeah, see? And the first thing they show you about it, see right here, chapel. The first thing they show you is that those archways, right? That's ultimately what makes up a chapel. See, they'll show you a church or a building, what they call a church, but yeah, there's definitely no church. That goes, see, even that, see, that building, but really, before you go in there, you have to go through that little arch, and they'll pretend like they're, which that goes back to idolatry, having that cross on top of the building. It's idolatry. Yeah, see the arch. So you're in the building, so you think, oh my God, this is a holy, holy building. This is great. It's really gonna serve the Lord. Come together and hold hands. Yeah, but really, this goes back to something wicked, man. That is right. Yeah, see, and they showing you first thing before you even. So that's actually the chapel, right? See, before you get into the building, you gotta go through that little arch thing, which is basically the chapel. So yeah, so this is Second Maccabees chapter 6. Second Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1 says, not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens, which actually was an Israelite, right, of one of three tribes, either Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, right, and to compel the Jews, right, which was Judah, Benjamin, Levi. It wasn't all 12 tribes there, to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the power, the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, right, and to pollute the temple of Jerusalem. Yes, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, right, because they were going around to different temples, basically polluting the temples, right? And it says, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus, and in Gerizim, right? Because when you go into this Mount Gerizim was in Asia, right? So Jerusalem and Asia is in two different places, right? So it shows you they were going to different temples, and that in Mount Gerizim, right? So they were going to different temples and basically polluting them. It says of Jupiter, and seeing it, and just like they do these Christian churches today, see, they say, "Won't you leave the laws of your father?" They tell you the laws are done away with. Come in, come as you are. All these different things, kind of like vocab. He wants you to do it the way they say do it. This is the way your way back to God, when everything that they say is opposite of what the Most High says to do, right? They can't even get it right. They don't even know if the Most High and his Son are either two separate beings or one being within one thing. They can't even get it right. Right? So why would we follow your way? Everything you say is opposite of what the scriptures say. Right? So I mean, but this is the sentiment, the things that they want you to do, right? And they want you to be what, of Jupiter, the defender of strangers. So they want you to use this dumbed down mentality, put you in the in the mind frame that you're the Gentile and you're not the Israelite, that you're the Gentile. So now that you think, oh shit, I'm a Gentile, so that makes all these other people Gentiles, and I want to be saved, and all other people be saved. So I'm a stranger myself. I'm just a Gentile. No, you're the Israelite. You're not the stranger. These people are strangers, and the strangers shouldn't even be in the temple, right? But you got the stranger in the temple being over you as the so-called pastor, telling you that the laws are done away with, right? Don't worry about it. We'll have a Christmas tree in our church. The laws are done away with. Don't worry about it. See, we don't have there's nothing to fear. Christmas is here. It's the Lord's birthday, which that doesn't line up with the scriptures, right? Everything they do is opposite of the scriptures, right? So they want you to be just put you in the mindset that you're the Gentile, so you could be what a defender of strangers, as they did desire that dealt in that dwelt in the place, and the coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, to the real Israelite and the ones who really knew what was going on. But they were probably getting to the minds of the youth at that time, right? And people who didn't know no better, and like you were indoctrinated. Your mom, they take you to church, take you to all these different things. But look, now we're waking up, but they want to come in and try to have all these people to put you back to sleep, right? For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles. See, they're the Gentiles, so he wants you to think, hey, everything's okay, right? Who dallied, dallied, dollied with harlots, and had to do with women within the circuit, right? And so when you go into that, the word circuit goes into a tour. So they were going into, like I said, when you go up here and you say also in Jerusalem, and then they say that in Gergama, which was another thing, which was in a different place, which was in Asia. Gerizim, Mount Gerizim, which was in Asia, right? So they were going to a circuit. Circuit is like when you go into a tour. So they're just going to all these different churches, basically bringing this filth to all these churches. Pretty much what they do now, right? That's why the Lord called it harlot houses, right? Because it didn't bring nothing but spiritual adultery. See, at that time, they were actually committing actual adultery, physical adultery. But to tell you that the laws are done away with, and all these different things that that's spiritual adultery. You know what I mean? Yeah. So within the circuit, right? So they were going on tour with this of the holy places. See, they were going on a tour to all the holy places. and beside that brought in things that were unlawful. See, unlawful to our God, unto our customs. Right? It's our customs, and that's one thing that you have to be reminded, because a custom, it makes up your makeup of who you are. Right? Nobody's going over to China and telling them they can't wear them little silk pajama suits and they can't do kung fu no more, right? You can't eat with chopsticks no more. That's their custom, right? You can't bow down to Buddha or whatever else they do. You can't do that no more. No, they're telling you that, right? By way of JC, a soft-spoken Edomite who says he loves you, when all you ever known is Edomites trying to kill you, trying to boss you around, look at you like you're nothing, right? You know what I mean? You should see these Edomites, man. You could feel the hatred. You go to some place, you could feel the hatred that they have for you. I'm not even a real super dark skinned Jake, and I go to places and you could feel the anger. You could feel the hatred that they have for you, right? So all this light skin and dark skin, that's another thing you niggas is out of your mind about. Oh, he's a light skin in this. Man, you go around, eat them, light skin and dark, you can just feel the hatred that they have. Because it says the altars also were filled with profane things with which the law forbid, right? Our law, our Father, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, forbids that, man. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days, right? So now they come in and, with that power that they have. Well, let's pass a law. We're gonna pass laws that it's illegal to do, which they were just saying that they were doing that in Ukraine, saying that it's illegal to be a Orthodox Jew, which that's the closest to actually following the right things, the Messiah, all that stuff, right? You know, that's pretty close to the truth. Like, I mean, it's not there, but you know, that's pretty. As far as, but they don't want them to. They don't even want you to be close to the truth, because then it leaves room for something else, I guess. But yeah, they in Ukraine, which you're sending your taxpayer monies for, they can no longer even be Orthodox Jews over there, making it against the law, right? So how much further how much longer would it take for that to happen here? Not much longer, most likely. It says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feast days or fast days, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew, right? Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And in that day, the king's birth, right? His birthday, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices when the feast of the fast of Bacchus, supposed to have been feast, should have been feast of Bacchus, the fast of Bacchus was kept. The Jews were to go in procession, right, like a parade, to Bacchus carrying ivory, right, which they about to have this whole Christmas parade. They about to have this Christmas parade, all these different things, right? Yeah. So this is First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and into the cities of Judea, right? Because I'm telling you, they were going like a circuit. They were going like on tour. They were going to different things and just bringing these women and just partying and having sex with the harlots and bringing in abominable things all over the temple, just doing all sorts of things. They were just doing it over and over and over and over again, to where certain men of Israel, they just went ahead, they just went with it, right? Certain people they just started following it, right? Plus they made it against the law, right, to call yourself a Jew or to keep the ancient feast days, or you know what I mean. So it's just like, hey, yeah, let's go. Hey, and mostly it was probably most likely the younger men that were into that, but you know, it probably enticed other, but that's how they do it, you know. While you eating pork and shrimp, crab, lobster in these churches, and calling on JC and everything's okay, but the scripture says otherwise. What is his name? What is the son's name? If thou can tell, right? Leviticus 11. Tell you your dietary law, opposite of what these people tell you, right? So, just going into this whole little thing, but it says that the king had sent letters by messenger unto Jerusalem and in the cities of Judea, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and to forbid burnt offerings, and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, which basically feast days, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. See, and that's ultimately what the vocab is ultimately trying to do, trying to convince you to go back into that vomit, right? That filthy place. Go back to, let me go back to Christianity. Yeah, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? That has, man, that has done nothing for us, and it's opposite of what the scriptures say. I don't know how you learn it and then go back into that. That's absurd, right? It says, and set up altars, and get to what I know. I went a long way just to get to this part, right? And set up altars and groves and chapels, right? And idols, right? That's what these Christian churches are, or the Catholic Church, which all these Christian churches stem off the Catholic Church, and it's just filled with idols and all this other nonsense that they're doing, and it's all because they want to break it off and not tell you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians that you're the Israelites, right? They want you to convince you that you're the Gentile and that you need their help. But the Lord say no, nay, 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 right? The truth is, the prophets are out there, and they're going to need your help, because you're going to be the new rulers of this world. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. But we're going to have to what? Hold fast to what we have, right? Not lean on our own understanding, and endure into the end, and be saved, Lord willing, you know what I'm saying? And that's ultimately what it is. It's upset altars and groves, and set up altars and groves. So now they set up their own church. So rip down your church. Don't follow the laws of your father. Yeah, the laws are done away with. Let's set up our own churches. Let's set this whole thing up. And that's ultimately Christianity. This is why you get this stuff, right? They set up altars and groves and chapels, right? Going into this, and idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh. So now what they tell you, oh, come over here. I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? You'd be right after church. We got the church sale. We got a fundraiser. We got this big old slab of pork ribs on the grill. And why don't you come buy one of these plates so you can support the youth program or something? I don't know. You know that. Hey, man, right? Sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, man, and that's the sentiment of this world. Hey, you can eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. Hey, you just got to believe in JC and come to these so-called places that they call churches, these chapels, right? Yeah, so this is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh, right, all caps, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. So you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, hear the words that Yahweh is speaking. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is speaking. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, learn not the way of the heathens, right? See, and that's ultimately what they do. They come in with this, they dismantled everything, put you in the ghettos, the vadios, the reservations, said, no, that ain't how you worship God. This is how you worship God. You need to come to us. Come as you are. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and give you these, let's give you these, these government boxes of food, you government cheese, and we'll give you the government ham. Hey, it's, guess what? And that's crazy how they do that, right? It's Christmas. Here's ham. Hey, it's Easter. Here's ham. Especially everything that's supposed to so-called have to do with the Lord, right? Because so-called they say JC was born on Christmas, right? So you're supposed to, according to that, which the Lord is the Lord. Surely our Lord sprang out of Judah, right? Which he was a Hebrew Israelite, and he kept the whole law. He was made of a woman. He was born of a woman, made under the law and born through a woman, and made under the law, right? So he had to be circumcised on the 8th day. He had to do all these different things. One of the things that has to do with the law is not to eat pork. So he went his whole life never eating pork. But the first thing you do is say, hey, he was born on Christmas. Hey, neighbor, here's this Christmas ham. This is what I'm saying? And this is the thing they try to get you. Let's go back to Christianity. Right? Because you Hebrew Israelites, or you black Hebrew Israelites, you're going off. You're crazy. Right? But they want to hand you a Christmas ham, and then peep this. Now it's so-called Resurrection Sunday, and Resurrection Sunday, which has to do with JC, who happens to be an Israelite who was made under the law through his mother. They were under the law, and through the law you cannot eat pork. But hey, it's Easter, resurrection. Here's your resurrection Easter ham. Hey, forget it. Come on, if that makes sense to you, I don't know. If that's okay with you, then you're okay, I guess. But that don't make no sense, right? Right. But that's why the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathens. says this, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Shai, learn not the way of the heathens, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Right? Everybody's seen these UFO sightings, and and Esau got these drones trying to examine it. Right? Probably trying to take pictures so they can, probably make it better so they can, was it, because they're trying to make their own, right? They're trying to mimic. They want to build their own and try to mimic the chariots. So they're trying to take pictures and this and this and that with their thing. Then I seen another video where they're shooting off like some type of substance in the air so people can breathe it. But at the same time saying it's UFOs, no, it's not UFOs. It's just drones. So it's a whole lot of confusion what's going on. That's why the Lord said, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And wait, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest. And where we at right now? We're in the time of this so-called Christmas folly day, man. Right? One cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe, right? And they deck it with silver and with gold. Deck the halls with dolls of folly. Folly, lolly. Yeah, it's folly. Folly, lolly, la. That's folly. That's some BS, man. All right? They deck it with silver and with gold and fasten it, right? Fasten it makes it so it don't move. Because, you just cut a tree. The tree can't stand up. You cut it. It's going to fall. So now you got this cut tree. You're going to take it to your house and you're going to put it in the thing. You're going to make sure it don't fall. You're going to wrap all sorts of little silver and gold and things around it to make it shine and say, hey, look, this is this tree, right? Which obviously must be a Christmas tree, which you have that at your churches and these places where these chapels and groves and things, what they do there, right? Because they used to do that, right? Yeah, and deck it with silver and with gold and fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not, right? Making sure they don't move. So it says they are upright as the palm tree, right? So now they're just standing all up. And even though you just cut this thing down, it's basically dead now. But you put it in there and stand it up and put silver and gold all around it, right? But speak not. Yeah, so yeah. The Lord said this thing don't speak. Why are you praising this thing? Why you got this thing? It's basically an idol, right? Representing Nimrod's whatever, So this really goes back to Babylon. So it shows you that this whole thing is encompassed around them being the Greeks, but also taking in a Babylonian custom and still forwarding the whole thing with chapels and basically Christmas within this this kingdom, which is all confusion, right? Because that's what Babylon means. Babel, confusion, and it says they must not be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. So the Lord was basically speaking through the prophets, having the prophets speak for the Lord to the people and tell them, look, man, that's a thing of the heathen. Don't be afraid of this thing. They're going to make you feel like you have to be a part of their society or their thing. You're going to be afraid of this thing. This tree can't speak. It can't move. It can't do nothing. Don't be afraid of. The Lord said, don't have that in your house. Let alone you're trying to say that a church is a house of the Lord, and in the house of the Lord you got a Christmas tree. So, I just wanted to just brush up on that real quick. So, with all that, I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and do well, the elder apostles in Connecticut, to the bishops, the priests, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Shalom, to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Shalom to you. And Abba Ball, Kwame Yasharala.